Dog, Dumbo Noodles, Dumbo B.
That's
Dumbo
a tough
B.
one. Hey, that's tough.
Dumbo B. Poor Jerry, man, at
Jerry,
the Hall
man.
of Fame.
He bit it.
Dumbo Joe Thornton going into the Hall of Fame. It's cringy. I felt for him.
Dude, you can't climb out of that dungeon either. It's like when you go, I meant Jumbo. Dumbo's done. Dumbo is out there into the stratosphere, and it's floating around with a stink on it forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dumbo.
Luckily, though, it's Jumbo, and he made light of it, right? He's such a kind-hearted person.
But he didn't like it either. It's one of the greatest nights of his life, if not the greatest in the sport. And the commish. Do we have the audio?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, do you want to hear?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's hear it. It's from Monday night. Go ahead.
And that's what Duncan and Z, Alexander and Jumbo, not Dumbo. Sorry, Jumbo. Jen and Brianna.
Holy shnikes.
That is a tough one.
It's a tough one, man, because you're going with the nicknames, right? Duncan and Z.
Yeah, he wants to be one of the boys.
One of the
and
guys.
It's Duncan Z-Man. And then
Dumbo. Dumbo Joe Thornton, first overall pick back in the day. Former Hart winner. He's done it all. He's seen it all.
That's
well,
tough.
Dumbo, is that? It's out there. You said it. It's out there. There's no bringing it back. But
dude, that's unfortunately I don't know how often Karen and Lindsay do the top tens, but they used to do them a lot. Sports Center, blotched speeches, or just that's one
George
every time. Dumbo.
It's George Bush. It's there's a few, right? There's probably a few, but I would think there's probably
you can fool me once, but don't ever call me a Dumbo.
Don't ever call me a Dumbo.
I think there's probably a top 5 of Gary Bettman ones, and he's been around a long time.
Dude, not like that, Jamie.
But sound bites. You're going to want to hear this, all that type of stuff. But this one it's just a slip, right? Dumbo, I don't know what he was trying to do.
It happens. One of us is going to slip something horribly.
Of course.
At some point this afternoon or tomorrow. We get to Winnipeg. We'll be in Winnipeg tomorrow and Friday. It happens. Live mics. It happens. But it's innocent, but it's funny.
It is. It's hilarious.
It's Dumbo.
To call a guy
Dumbo
Dumbo.
Thornton into the Hall of Fame. Anyway, we're off to Winnipeg, which will be a great escape. Right, I'm ready to go and talk about the Jets for a couple of days.
Yeah, where are you at? Because you did the game, right? And Hayes, you watched it, and I actually had to go back and watch it to see what this nonsense was going on.
No, we're going to take a break from maybe hockey altogether.
Yeah, it might be exclusively football, soccer, right? We'll see if we can get maybe someone from the Canadian team to come on.
The Leafs need they need to get on the road. That's the thing.
Well, they did get on the road. You're right, though, Noodles. They need a 2-week road trip, somewhere halfway around the world.
You're right. They do. The Leafs need a 5-game road trip right now to find themselves and come together and just get away from it, because they've been at home for, I feel how many games have they played? 17. I feel like 14 or 15 or no, 13 of them have been at home, I believe. Something crazy, right?
Jamie, I think that's applicable when a team maybe they played really well, but they don't have any puck luck, and you can say, hey, let's get these guys on the road, go have a bunch of beers, and maybe things will turn around and they can loosen up a little bit.
Right.
They are so far away, and I think they took some solace in the fact that they made some type of comeback in that third period last night. I thought they were so far away from winning that hockey game, it wasn't even funny. I didn't think they had a chance, to be perfectly honest with you. With the goaltending, the stupid penalties, and the opportunities that these guys give up, whether it's short little 2-on-1s or full 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s throughout the neutral zone, you are never going to win, man. You're never going to win. I didn't think they were close last night. And sometimes analyzing the game up close when you're in the studio and you're doing some video work, sometimes you don't have you don't get a real the true grasp on what really happened, because you're stepping away to do something. And I don't know, but it looked like they didn't really have a chance. You tell me, Brian.
No, I totally agree. I thought the commentary after the game about the third period was as concerning as anything I've heard all year, because that's what bad teams do. Bad teams, they take a 10-game stretch at the end of the season and say, well, we went 7-3. That's who we're going to be next year. Like, that's who we are. Down the stretch, forget the first 72 games. That last 10 games, baseball teams do it all the time. The Jays will go, 18-10 in September, finish with 74 wins, but say September, man, we were good. That's who we're going to be next year.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Leafs after the game had the audacity to say, wow, we stuck up for each other and we fought back and we really showed some good things in the third and we got to build off that. That's a team that – those are comments from a team that don't know how to win or have never won before. And that's what's surprising here is I gave them the benefit of the doubt coming into this season that they would be a good regular season team because they have earned that benefit of the doubt. For 9 years, they have been an elite regular season team. And, you can scoff at that, you can laugh at that, but it's a reality. Like, for 9 years, they have basically put their feet up and cruised to the playoffs and been one of the best teams in the league year after year after year.
Perennial Cup favorite, Brian.
In the regular season.
Yes.
They have no sense of belief if you're a fan or being objective when it comes to the playoffs, and they don't deserve any belief in the playoffs. None as an organization, and that's not only the last 9 years. That dates back almost 60 now. They do not have any ability to seek out belief based on the playoffs. But in the regular season, I thought they'd be fine. I came in, I thought you're bringing back the same goalies, the same D. You still have enough talent. You got a coach behind the bench that has won before, that seemed to push the right buttons last year. I think they earned that sense of belief or the benefit of the doubt. And quite frankly, it's expired for me 17 games in. Like they are lucky to be 8-1. You can look at it in three layers. The eye test, they're chasing every game. They're down early in every single game. They're chasing it. They get out-checked. They get out-skated. They don't have the puck enough. They get outshot every single night. You just look at it. They look disconnected. They don't look like they know what they're doing half the time, quite frankly. They just look like they lack life and ambition when they're on the ice. So the eye test, layer number one, it's even worse when you apply the stats. They give up more goals per game than any team in the league. Dead last in the league. The worst in the league goals against. They're 28th in shots against. Their power play and penalty killer, both bottom three. Their goaltenders can't stop pucks. They're terrible. Like, their goaltending stats are awful. They turn the puck over more than anyone else. They give up odd man rushes more than anyone else. And the third layer is the schedule that you talked about. Yeah. They've been at home a ton against soft teams. Yeah. Like, it's 1, 2, 3 layers where you look at it 17 games in, and yes, they have the ability to change it because there's a lot of season left, and there's a lot of parity in the league. So that's the glass half full. A lot of parity.
The team they played against last night is an example about crawling out of a ditch because Boston did it. Early on, I think they lost 6 in a row. And now last night they won 7 in a row. But from what you just detailed right there, it seems awfully difficult to be confident. And I said it to Duthie last night. I was like, it's tough to grab something right now and say, if we can just build off the goaltending, if we can build off the way our D are playing right now, if we could build off our special, the way you just said that, it is impossible. I mean impossible, and the three of us do this for a living, to debate the other side of it and be confident about something.
No, they've been terrible. There's no other way around it.
It's
through
flat
17
out terrible,
games, they've been awful.
And there is no sugarcoating it, and there's no positive spin on it where you can say, well, if you just got to look at this. Wrong, sorry, can't do it, not going to do it. There's no way to do it, what you just said. You were saying that, and I was listening to it. It sounded worse than it actually is. But then when you backed it up with the stats, I'm like, my God, like it's that bad. Like, it's bad, man. They're like the game against Pittsburgh. Lucky to win. They had one good period. And the most important thing that we've talked about is their schedule. A team like Colorado or some kind of heater team would have such a good record right now. They would be flying.
Yeah, they're 8-1.
They haven't
and
played
lucky.
anybody, man.
Well, and here's one more stat, Noodles, before you jump in.
No, I want to hear it.
And this is not one that, we go to a lot. We're going to the bullpen, right? We're bringing in Brendan Little here.
Oh, Schneike.
So goals above expected.
Oh, dude, we don't even do that.
No, I
here.
run
I'm
it.
just
Goals,
gonna
goals
say
saved
it.
above expectation. Yes, give it.
Goals scored above expected.
Okay.
They have more than any. They're number one in the league. So what that would suggest is there's some luck in the offense.
Puck luck.
Yes.
Yeah, the PDO.
Everything's kind of going in for them.
Yeah.
And it's by a significant margin. So they're scoring at a higher rate than the actual average chance they're getting. So if that balances out and the pucks don't go off the post and in, or they don't face some of the bad goalies that they've been facing, like we're getting to, if that evens out, then it gets even worse.
Yeah.
It's staggering, man. They're really they're so lucky that they're 500.
Yeah.
They're very, very lucky.
But, it's funny because you dissected it, Brian. You went in 3 layers. Because sometimes, when we talk about it, the numbers don't match type of thing. I didn't realize, I did realize the goals against and all of that type of stuff. I look at the stats every day, and I'm doing it, for the teams that I'm calling and all of that. The power play, penalty kill, all of that type of stuff. But it's mesmerizing when you put it all together, because you can look at it and go, their goals against got to get better. Maybe Joseph Woll coming back is going to help. Stolarz has not played well. I was watching the game, and all of a sudden he's not there. I don't know where he got hurt, because did he get hurt at giving up a bad goal to Steves? Because that's
the
I didn't like
concern.
that.
I mean, the way Berube answered it after the game would suggest it's, he said it's not serious, and he was asked, do you think he can play Thursday? And he said, I hope, I think. If you can play Thursday, how can you not play the final 40 minutes of the
maybe
game?
cramping or something. The only thing I think about is they didn't want to pull him 2 games in a row. Would that be 2 games in a row?
That would have been 2 games in a row against the same team, Noodles.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They go to him and say, you're cramping, we're not pulling you?
No,
I don't understand
I don't know.
that.
Or he said, hey, I'm not playing. I don't know. I mean, who knows with the Leafs? The problem is the Leafs are never going to be completely transparent with anything.
Yeah.
Upper body, lower body, you have no idea. But the fact is, when he did play, it was bad. 2 of the 3 goals were terrible goals.
Yeah, and the thing is, he made the one huge save early on. I was like, okay, this guy's rocking. It was a windmill save, the glove save, and then a windmill. I'm like, okay, he's rocking. And then it just kind of, bounce off the skate, the Zaka one. That's a tough play. But, outside of that, you got to be better. And you put the Hildebeest in, and they still kept giving up chances.
Well, Pasternak starts the
Johnny's
second.
talking about breakaways, saying, they gave up 4 the other night. Oh, Pasternak on a breakaway. I'm like,
Jamie,
my God.
That guy must think, I said last night, that guy must think this is some kind of skills competition. He played against Carolina, and all he sees is breakaways. He had 5 breakaways against Carolina, and then these ones last night. It was insane. He must be just thinking, what kind of joke of a league is this where a guy gets in? It's supposed to be so hard to get a breakaway in that league, and teams are doing it for fun.
And
How many
Morgan
breakaways
Riley
have you seen the Leafs
Jake
get on?
McCabe on the ice to start those are your 2 vets that you trust.
I don't know what's wrong with Jake McCabe, guys. He's highly respected. He's a veteran that competes.
Yep.
He's playing as bad as he possibly could right now. I've never seen him play like this. In all the times I've watched him throughout the league. He can't pass. He can't defend. He's positionally out of whack. It's tough sledding for him. There is no doubt, man.
But we're seeing it. It's weird. It's hard. We're talking about the Leafs, but I'm watching teams every night and going, that guy's a better player than what I'm seeing. And, you're seeing it from – not just the Maple. I'm seeing it throughout the league in the games I watch. There's players that you're like, okay, that kid's arrived. This guy and this guy. Oh, Father Time's coming.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm not going to get soft. It's the National Hockey League, and when training camp starts, you're expected to go.
You're
what is
right.
it? It's shortened training camps. Little guys are a little bit fuzzy. You're hearing it throughout the league. What the hell is it going to be next year when there's no fitness testing? It might be a sideshow out there. Mitchkov claimed he didn't play hockey for 4 months. 4 months, and he just didn't do anything. What? I don't know. Big leagues, when the puck drops, got to be ready to go.
100%. There is no – what I'm doing, I'm not making excuses for them. I'm making an observation as to, my expectation coming into the season, how I wrap my head around how I view a certain team and how I view a certain player, of what I expect out of that player. There's a standard. And I could look. You can look through that Toronto Maple Leaf dressing room. there's new players that I don't know what their standard is. I don't know what Michelli's standard is. I don't know what
I do.
Joshua's standard is.
I do.
Well, there is a standard that we expect out of NHL players. What I'm saying is, from what we've watched of, name me a player on the Leafs that's been there for 3-4 years. Are they playing to their standard? I would say no. That's what I would say. Like and that's throughout the league. A lot of teams.
I would say maybe Matthew Nyes and John Tavares. And Tavares isn't even 100%. He made some plays last night that were just horrendous.
Well, listen, they all get dragged down. You get dragged up or dragged down by your product. But there is a standard for some of these guys that they're not living up to it, and I don't know how you get out of it. Like, I think it's easy for the coach to come in and kick a garbage can and say, you got to be better, you got to do this and that, systematic play. But they look like they're thinking out there. They're second on every puck. They're losing battles. They look slow and deliberate sometimes instead of like fast and popping type of thing. And that's not just one player. That's a bunch of them to a group type of thing. And so I think they get an opportunity. LA's no slouch. They're a good team.
No, that's it. And then they're in Chicago on Saturday. And Chicago's been really good. So, listen, it's only going to get more difficult. Berube's got to figure it out. We've always talked the chicken or the egg, who's responsible for a hot start or a slow start. And generally, you guys have always said in the pros, it's on the players. Like if you're a professional athlete, you have to be ready to play. You just said it, But they didn't have a great camp. They haven't had a great start. They look disjointed. Like Berube's got to figure it out. He's got to figure out why they're playing this way, because the neutral zone again last night, it's a fast pass lane for every opponent. I've never seen anything like it. Every opponent's like they don't even get touched. Yeah. It's breakaway, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, and the way I see it is they're trying to dumping it in, and they don't get there, and the transition for the opponent is so easy that there's just too many guys in no man's land. And
well, here's the problem: if you're dumping it in and you're not fast enough to get there, that means maybe you should think about changing the philosophy to carrying it in and making plays. But when you're not good enough to do that, you got a serious problem.
Well,
so it might be a personnel problem.
That's where the GM comes into play. But the reality is, in 2025, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There's no. You can't call Calgary up and say, let's make a 10-player trade. Doug Gilmour's not walking through the door. It doesn't happen.
The other side of it is, in 2 weeks is kind of judgment day where you decide what you are in the National Hockey League. It's been like that forever. I don't need 2 weeks to tell you that this team's going to turn it around. And on that Thursday, I'm going to look at you guys and say, these guys are one of the real deal teams. It's not happening. It's not changing.
It is. You're right. It just, this team won 3 in a row, lost 3 in a row. Are they somewhere in the middle, which is still kind of good but not great? Or are they, that's what I'm still trying to figure out is what is this group? Even when they're playing to their capabilities, what is the group? I think they're struggling to find their identity as a group.
My follow-up to that is always, what is their identity? If they were playing to their best, you guys can combo this. If they were playing to their identity, what exactly would that be? Tell me.
Brian, you want to go first? You want me to jump?
Well, I mean, it used to be, a puck possession.
I'm not talking about
I know, I understand
I'm
that.
not trying to be a dick.
But this is why, but I guess this is the answer. They don't have one. It's a rhetorical question. They don't have one. Because it used to be under Keefe, and it didn't work come playoff time and all that, was, they would have a roster of players that held on. We always talk, hey, there goes Pierre Engvall circling back. There goes Timothy Liljegren back behind his net to slow it down. That's the system they played. Now, I guess Craig Berube, I'm sure what he wants is them to look like the 2019 Blues. He won the Cup with that style, with that team. They don't have that personnel. They don't. So to answer your question, last year the identity was high-end goaltending and, high-end talent that could break through and they'd score a lot of goals. That was kind of what it was.
Well,
but even skilled players,
stingy, though, Brian,
they were stingy to an extent. They were. The goaltending masked a lot of it, and it still can. That's the biggest, the most glass half full proposal I can make to a fan base. Now, Stolarz is an incredibly dark place right now. Ever since the comments, and now he's been pulled twice. It's a mess for him. It's a real problem, and I don't know what Joseph Woll is going to return to, because he's missed so much time. I think it's just unfair to put expectation on it. I think it's unreasonable to know exactly what he's going to be.
He's played a game and a half.
Exactly, and missed camp. And how many times have we talked about that? When you miss camp and you miss the start of the season, it's jumping on a moving train. It's very tough to do. But if they can get back to a top 10 tandem, which is what they had consistently last year, that's going to mask a lot of problems. Like, that's the easiest way out to at least allow yourself to breathe.
Well, it gives you some consistency in the net where you're like, okay, you make a mistake and the goalie will bail you out. We saw a lot of that last year. What I meant, Brian, about them being a stingy team is that 6th defensive core was heavy. They moved pucks, but they, to a man, I think Craig Berube had them playing forwards coming back, tracking back, allowing the D to have good gaps. So they were stingy, and then when they did have a breakdown, that's where the goaltender masked it. This year, the breakdowns are glaring, and the goaltending isn't masking it, and the forwards are disjointed with the D, and the D are disjointed with the goaltender. Like, it just doesn't look like it's consistent. And, I've had people reach out to me and say, well, the Mitch Marner effect. Well, Mitch Marner, yes, was a very good defensive player and a very good puck transporter. Johnny's talked about it all the time. His zone entries, their power play looks different because who's lugging the puck up.
Yep.
When you do the slingshot drop back, it was always Marner that got the entry, and he flipped it out to Matthews, and then he got it back and he set it up. It's a different team. I get it. But at some point, the players that are there still have to step up and find different ways. And I still think they're struggling to find their consistency with that. Like I say, Nyes is at a good start. Matthews, iffy, up and down. Nylander does what he does. Tavares does what he does. But it's off of that, it's a cliff. Like, it really is a cliff. Like, that's – and that's what's concerning is John Tavares is 35. You expect him to be a really good support guy, not to be a guy to drag them through stuff.
Well, and now with the Matthews story – it puts a spotlight on him. Like, I don't know what happened to him last night. And honestly, the Zadorov hit wasn't that crazy of a hit, guys. Like, he stood up at the blue line. He didn't run him. He didn't bury him. He didn't elbow him in the back of the head.
It looked like there was more chance of him getting injured trying to hit Zadorov.
And I think the worst part of that is, because I agree with you, I was so happy when I saw him do that because I've never really seen him do that in 10 years.
No.
I'm like, oh, great, here we go. He's pissed. Now he's alive. Zadorov just hit him and knocked some sense into him. He's like, now you're going to deal with the big boy. And he throws a retaliatory hit, and he gets hurt, if that's what he got hurt from. And it's like, oh, man, because, listen, prior to him getting hurt, I didn't even notice him last night. And this is, the elephant in the room is, again, getting back to the projection of the season. I thought this team would be good. I thought they'd make the playoffs. I'm not ready to say they're not going to. I'm not suggesting that. We're reviewing 17 games. I was more convinced Matthews would put a stake in the ground and say, I'm coming for everyone that's been talking about me. Everyone that thinks I'm cooked. Everyone that thinks my body's broken down or I can't play without Mitch or whatever. I thought he'd be phenomenal, and the schedule set up beautifully for that. And he's been good. He has not been great. He's not been he hasn't been anywhere close to a top 10 player in the league. And now he's injured. Hopefully it's short term. Hopefully there's no injury. Hopefully he gets back tomorrow.
Well, it's a big segment coming up. If Stolarz is out for any duration, and Austin Matthews is, and there's 8 of 10 on the road, or 8 of 11 on the road coming up, there's a big segment of the season right there.
It's your whole season. That's your season.
It's a defining moment.
You came over the top, but
I
correct.
will come over the top, though. I think so. I don't think that's embellishment.
Fine. You elbow me right in the head from the top turnbuckle, and I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. 10, 11 games, if those guys aren't available and it's on the road, and you're 8-1 already.
Yeah, season. It's a season on the line.
Yes, it kind of feels like it.
Question for you, though. What did they announce for Matthews? Lower or upper?
Nothing. Yeah, they said lower body, but honestly, how can you trust anything?
When it comes to that guy, they're going to just...
How can you trust anything? He doesn't talk. If he had a hangnail, they wouldn't say anything.
I understand that, but usually there is a vicinity. Like when he hit there, I thought, okay, maybe it's a shoulder, but then I was watching his legs going, did he twist his knee?
But that's my point, Noodles. He had something he went to Germany last year. We don't even know what it was. Like, how could I take everything they say with a grain of salt. Like, how could you? It doesn't matter. They're not going to tell you, but I don't know what
it's
he
just a
suffered
big
from
blow
last
not
night.
having him. You hope that he's all right. You hope that Stolarz just had a cramp or something like that. He didn't have his A game. And like, there's lots of, what ifs.
What
But
scares you more, though, through 17 games? Matthews or Stolarz?
Stolarz, because he set a standard the last couple years, and I've been saying it, and I'm not saying, hey, I'm right, I'm a hero. What I'm saying is, as a backup to Bobrovsky, he was fantastic. His numbers were unbelievable, and rightfully so. He earned it. He came here last year, his numbers were fantastic, and he played great, but he played 34 games. Here, this year, because of Joseph Woll's absence, he had to play a lot. And if you stumble, they would go to Woll. But there was nobody there for them to go to. So it's like, you got to go back. You're playing. That's the difference. The difference between being on pace to play 34 and playing 55 or 60, it's a lot different. I know what Austin Matthews is capable of. So I've seen it for years. So when I say he's playing up to his standard, we will all know. But I'm more concerned if Stolarz he needs Woll to get it back on the rails, because I think the two of them can feed off of each other. That's the way I feel.
Okay. Yeah, I'm nervous
about Matthews.
I'm nervous about the big guy. I got to be honest. Like I'm last year, he could chalk it up to he was injured, and that's true. This year, he was healthy prior to last night. Well, I don't know what this is going to mean for him. Hopefully, again, it's nothing. There was no update today. Hopefully, he's playing tomorrow. If he's not, day to day, and he's okay. But he was not lighting the league on fire. We're 17 games in. It looked like it was going to be a 40-goal, 85-point season. Really good season. Really good player.
Right.
But you need him to be with the McDavids and the McKinnons and the Dreisaitl's, and that's where he's got to be.
Right.
That's what you need. You need that out of him. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but that is a he needs to prove it. He needs to prove it when he gets back that he can get back there, because he's done it his whole career.
Right.
He's done it his whole career, and he's still a very effective player. But he's probably a microcosm of the whole team. He is capable of a lot more. They're all capable of a lot more.
So let me ask you this before we go to break. Is there one thing that you would just want to start with tomorrow? What do you start with? One thing. I don't know if there is one, but is there one thing you'd like to see?
How about win on the shot clock in the first period tomorrow? That's a simple thing. Have more shots than the Kings through 20 minutes. Forget everything else. Have more shots. Start there. Win 10-6 on the shot clock in the first period tomorrow. And take it from there.
How about eliminate the Dumbo plays?
That would be good too.
No breakaways, no just egregious 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s to start the game, and have it look like there's some urgency and intensity. You combo those two things and see if you can start there, because neither are there, and it's alarming how
it hasn't
noticeable
been there.
It is. Yeah,
they haven't had a game. Have they had a complete game this year?
The Utah game, they played pretty well, but you're right, Noodles. They played 17. There's 2 or 3 you can point to where you can say definitively they were the better team. There have been a couple of coin flip games, but they've been outplayed a lot. There's no disputing that.
They got to start somewhere, and that's the thing. They got to get out of this, man.
Yep, they do. They got a long season ahead of them. They still have a lot of time. That's what you got to keep coming back to, and they've earned that for 9 years. The regular season has not been a problem for them. They've been comfortable in the regular season. And there's a lot of parity in the league. There's a lot of parity. All right, Johnny coming up, Jerry coming up. We've got observations around the league because we've been talking about it. We're going to get to that and more still to come. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Hazy, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news for you. Noodles, you're a Gold Star flyer, and I would imagine on the way home from Winnipeg, you would be flying first class?
Potentially. I'm not going to divulge that information. Why?
Because you're going to have company. Lloyd and Harry are coming with you, pal. I upgraded me and Hazy B, and we will be going first class on the way home.
Wow, look at you.
I checked there. I don't think there was enough seats up there.
There's no way this guy's being truthful because I checked in on the way there. I'm pretty sure I'm on the roof to get to Winnipeg.
Well, there lies the problem. I attempted, out of my own money, to get you up there for the way there, and there was no room.
Oh,
so
good, man.
You're going to have to sit in the back. I'm up there, but you're not.
That's fine by me. I am a low-maintenance flyer. I
fine.
will be asleep before the wheels are in the air.
See,
you're
a sleeper
that
on the
guy?
plane?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Because motion gets me. That's really what it is. If the plane is taxied, like sitting still, I cannot fall asleep. The second it's like moving and gets going, especially early, and I don't have kids around, that's the big thing. I shouldn't say this because I know my wife's in the car right now and she is white-knuckling listening to this. You will be a 3-hour shutdown tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I intend on doing just that. There's no better feeling than waking up basically when you land. It's the greatest thing ever.
When you hit the runway,
Yeah, it just
you're
doubles
like, hey, I'm
down,
here.
it starts shaking, and you're like, oh, we're here. Winnipeg, I love it.
I told you guys that I only did that once, and that was last year, but I was well overserved. So I had a 5-hour flight where I crashed. So
Yeah.
outside of that, I maybe can take a little nap here or there, but honestly, wherever you sit,
It's Netflix time.
Yeah, Netflix, put the headphones on. If somebody says hi, you have a stop and chat,
Yeah.
and you move on. That's it.
I'm a reader, man. I'm a magazine guy. I'll buy magazines and
Really?
See,
you
I-
just said you sleep the whole time.
that's
what
what
are you
usually
reading?
puts me to sleep. I'll start reading something.
Yeah, but
I went and picked up a couple this morning.
decent magazine. I
Yeah.
played with a guy who was a creep, and he would bring on creepy magazines, and we would fly commercial. We flew commercial before 9/11. Remember, there
Yeah.
was teams that flew commercial. I remember
Playboys and stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
That's
yes.
extreme. It's one thing if it's like a
Dude, if you
Maxim
peel
or-
out a P-boy in front of random stranger.
This guy, I'll never forget. I was sitting in row 28 middle seat. And
Fan out the centerfold.
That's
with a lift up.
Yeah, if you do a lift up in a I don't know, man.
That's
I'm telling you,
aggressive.
there are teammates. I guarantee you, I will get messages from people who listen to this segment going, I know the player who you're talking about. There was a guy who would bring magazines, adult magazines.
Should be never allowed on an aircraft again.
That's wild stuff, Ben.
This is pre-camera phones.
Yep.
This is pre-9/11, so that we flew commercial. Keep in mind, the NHL flew commercial quite a bit. I was with the New York Islanders flying commercial, and the team services guy would hand out the tickets. The rookies got middle rows. I'd be in 29E, and I'd be looking up and
Right.
seeing a guy. It was
The world has
outrageous.
changed.
Yes.
Exactly. Our kids would never understand it.
Yeah.
My kids watch Home Alone all the time.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of Home Alone, both movies, is that just someone gets lost and doesn't get on the plane.
Yeah, just left
Or
behind.
the tickets get thrown up in the air, and they're like, yeah, just go ahead. And
Yeah.
yes, it's for effect, and it's a movie, but it's not that extreme. It used to be you had to have your ticket, and if you didn't, some other
Yeah.
guy had it. He was in your seat.
Yeah, it's
there was no
fine.
checks and balances. It was
No.
it was no different than getting a ticket to go to the Gardens, or go to the Dome or whatever. It was crazy.
I'm telling you, I could see, I can actually visualize that guy sitting in his seat with the magazine in front of him, open, and
I need
A lift up and a
that's the kind
close
of
look.
stuff.
A lift up and a close look is airport security.
Crazy. Centerfold
Crazy.
lift up
And a close look.
and glasses on for inspection is
It
a
is
wild
just-
maneuver.
Are going
It
into
is.
a jail in the airport.
Yeah, that's the kind
telling
of
you.
stuff that would go viral today. Now you just see people fighting and stuff on airplanes.
well,
you know,
yeah, that-
which I'd take your buddy over that kind of buffoonery.
Yeah,
But,
there's people that just there was a lady that I think it was yesterday on a flight I was on, and you're supposed to if you're sitting in row 4, the people in front of you are supposed to get out, and then 4 and then 5
Yeah,
or
of
whatever.
They
This
racing
lady
to the
bombed
front,
up,
man.
Oh, yeah.
bombed up and tried to get in front of some people that were in
Gets
business
awkward,
class,
man.
and the guy said something. He's like, "Do you want to just wait?" Like everyone's
Wait your
wants
turn.
to say something, yeah,
Yes.
but one guy was like, "Do you just want to wait?" And she got chippy And he got chippy right back with her. He's like, I'm sorry. Like, she's like, I'm in a hurry. He's like, you don't think we are?
Everybody's in a hurry.
Want to sit here on this plane?
Everybody's in a hurry.
I was like, oh, I didn't even. I just turned. I had my headset on. I just turned away. I was like, I do not need to get involved in this nonsense. But the guy he was in the right. She was in the wrong. But I wasn't going to intervene on that.
Okay. No.
Crazy.
Well, let's hope none of that happens tomorrow. And
we'll
the OW, the first one on, first one off. You have to wait for me, man. You're going to have to wait. It could be a 45-minute wait.
I will.
But I'll be there with my magazines walking around. All right, we've got MJ coming up. I think Seth Jarvis might join us, who's a Winnipeg boy. That's why we wanted to get Seth on. He's playing great. Obviously, Team Canada, Four Nations, Carolina. But Seth, what are we walking into in the peg? Right, so we'll get to that.
He might send a few of his buddies down too. If you see him in that prime thing, he's got all his buddies that drove down for the playoffs. He's got some goon buddies. I guarantee they might show up if you're OverDrive fans.
I love it. Awesome. We can't wait. So we'll catch up with Jerry. We've got our observations. We got a lot we got to get to here as we prep for the Grey Cup and head into Winnipeg tomorrow. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
You're going to want to hear this.
Jerry's percentages.
I don't love being commissioner as much as I used to. I actually love it even more.
That's the voice of a Hall of Famer.
Are you kidding? Have you been out drinking?
You're all pigeons. Filthy, filthy pigeons.
It's Jerry. Gerry.
All right, Jerry, very, very nice of him to be flexible today. Right. Usually Jerry comes up a little bit later, but we got Johnny coming up. We got Seth Jarvis coming up. Seth said he'd come on and set the scene for us because we're going to his hometown. Right. He said, all right, I'll come on and tell you about the peg. You guys are on your way out there. So we'll catch up with Jarvis in about 45 minutes. So Jerry's been a busy guy. He said, I'll come on at 4:45. I love it. Very flexible. Very flexible. You guys ready to hear from Jerry?
Jumbo Jerry has all his takes ready to rock, so the three Dumbos on the show better be ready to roll. Let's do it. Joseph Woll will start more games than Anthony Stolarz the rest of the season.
Jumbo Jerry, I like that.
It's got a ring to it, I'm not going to lie.
Not bad.
All right, Joseph Woll, more starts than Stolarz the rest of the way.
You know what? Recency bias. How could you not have a positive percentage on this? I'm going to say 65%. 65%. How could you not be on the positive side of this percentage? Just from what we've seen. It's a mess back there. Maybe he can help out. Seems unlikely, but
well, it's a lot of pressure to put on him, considering he's literally played a game and a half since last year, and he missed training camp and all that. I want him to have success. I feel like it's going to be close to a split. Now, if he plays two more games, that means he did. But I'm 48% on this. I think, like, Stolarz can get his game together. It's going to go hand in hand with the guys in front of him as well. So if they play better in front of him and he gets his game in order, I think they'll split the rest of the way type of thing. So I'm 48% on him.
Yeah, I mean – listen, Joseph Woll has had injury problems in his career. He's a good goalie. It's not as if Hellebuck is returning here. You got to be reasonable. This is not the savior that's returning. And if that's what anyone's expecting, then I think you're bracing for disappointment. I know,
but it shouldn't be that crazy to expect a guy to come back and play well.
No, and he can.
Year, like 3 or 4 for him. Like, he's a talented guy. Like, we always say, like, oh, give him the. I don't think it's crazy to say, you know what, come back and be good.
No, it's not.
It should be. That should be the expectation.
And he should be, and I believe he can be. He's a very talented goaltender. But I also think Stolarz is a very good goaltender. Both of them, there's no shame in being tandem guys. And tandem means, almost every second night you're going to be in there, not every night. And I think that's where they had their best success last year, where both of them were available and they were pushing each other. So that's kind of where I feel like it's going to be coin flip. And you want to have that scenario. You want to have them both playing well, so it's like you're looking at the schedule going, okay, this guy has a history against this team. You're looking at how their records are against individual teams, not just going, we need to start from somebody because neither one of them have been good. I think that's what you're aiming for if you're Curtis Sanford and Craig Berube.
Yeah, I'd go 55% because I think, Stolarz has had his injury issues in his career as well. He hasn't suffered any this year, last night notwithstanding whatever that was. So I'm a little bit concerned that could be the case. But it is, the more we talk about it, that is a light at the end of the tunnel that is potentially there for them. It could be, hey, when Woll returned, everything settled back in. That's what they got to hope for. Yep. That he gets back this weekend, he and Stolarz push each other, they turn into a tandem, and they get above league average goaltending. If you get that, you're in a really good spot for any team. You get above league average goaltending, you're in a good spot.
Yep.
So that is definitely an optimistic view here. All right, Jerry, what else do you have?
At least 2 Maple Leafs will finish the season with more points than Mitchell Marner.
3 of them currently have more than him right now. Willie, Tavares, and Knies. Marner has 19.
I'm going to say 25%. And probably past them all would be my guess. 25%. Hard to be positive on any of this stuff right now, to be honest with you. Leaf-related.
I'm low on it just because of 2 things. Marner got to 100 points last year. Willie's never got to 100 points. He's more of a goal scorer than an assist guy. So, I don't have it in front of me, but what's his career high in
88,
points?
89, I think maybe hit 90 points.
Right, let's say 90. I think he was maybe just over 90. But if Mitch can get that in Vegas, different team, all of that type of stuff, and I don't think John's going to get there. So it's and I don't think Knies is going to get there, to be honest. Knies is having a great start statistically and getting points and all that, but he's been more of a 60-point guy. I think Knies could be a point-a-game guy, which would be 82, right? So I'm low on this. I'm 22%.
Yeah, I'm low too. Now, Willie's off to a great start, man.
Yep.
Nylander is putting up points.
He is.
If you asked me this before the season, I'd say it'd be Willie and Austin that I thought could do it. Matthews he's putting up points, not like a ton of points, not what he has shown in the past.
Right.
But now with last night, I don't know what that's going to mean for him. But, Vegas, again, they're not a team that generally has guys, racking up tons of points.
They probably want him to get 70.
Yeah, and he's moved around already this year. He's been on the first line, second line, they're not going to play him 24, 25 minutes a night like he did it, like he will at times. Of course he will. But I think you got to have faith in Marner's health. He's been healthy his whole career. So is Willie. But 40% chance. What else you got, Jerry?
Bichette will be a Toronto Blue Jay next season.
All right, little Jays from Jumbo Jerry.
Quickly around the horn, I'll go 100%. I'm just going based on a lot of the insiders in the baseball world. They have them if you go to the free agents and where they're matched or paired or likely to go to, a lot of them say the Blue Jays. Why not?
There's
Why wouldn't
some
it be the Blue
funky
Jays?
reports out there in baseball right now.
The
there's
Skeens.
a reporter a Yankee reporter reporting that Paul Skeens has been telling teammates he wants to play for the Yankees.
Yeah. Who does that?
Who would do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, really? You believe that Paul's, hey, buddy, come over here for a sec. I just want you to know. I really want to play for the Yankees.
Yeah.
No, beat it. See you later.
No.
I'm not buying. He may end up with the Yankees, but I don't think he's telling people he wants to play for the Yankees.
Yeah.
But as for Bichette, go ahead, Noodles.
I'm high on this, 98%. I think whatever offer he gets out there, I think the Jays can match if they want to, and I think he wants to stay here. I really do. I think it's about respect and getting paid, and they'll give him both.
Yeah. I'm not as high as you guys, and the reason may surprise you. I'll say 60%. But I think the Jays are like big game hunting, and they love Bo, but they might love someone even more than Bo.
Oh.
And it's if it's Kyle Tucker, they're taking Tucker over Bo Bichette, and it may be a scenario where they look at Bo and say, "Thanks for everything, man, but we're going a different direction."
Well, if he gets any sniff of that, he'll tell them to stuff it before they do.
Possibly,
that's for sure.
But you see, we just talked about Skeens and the Yankees. I've seen already, I think it was Simmons writing that Bichette was talking about, I wouldn't mind playing for the Yankees. That was the Vladdy Guerrero Jr. playbook. and it plays beautifully in Toronto. Like that's a great negotiation tactic. If you want the Jays to pony up, you let everyone know you might be a Yankee. I'd kind of be cool to play for the Yankees. It works because everyone hates the Yankees here. Everyone hates the idea of the Yankees scooping up our players, quote unquote. And it puts pressure on the front office to get the job done and pay what you got to pay to make sure it doesn't happen.
True.
So Bo might be taking a page out of the Vladdy playbook already. All right, hour 2 coming up. Johnny coming up, Seth Jarvis coming up, Best Bets coming up, Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on the TSN app. Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We're up on TSN 4, we're up on YouTube Live, streaming every show live on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. Seth Jarvis later in the hour to set the scene for us, going to Winnipeg tomorrow for the Grey Cup. It's set, 112th Grey Cup, Alouettes, Rough Riders. People are jacked. I'm sure a lot of Rough Rider fans are going to be there. I know Montreal fans are going to be flying too, man. They're going to be there. It's going to be a party in Winnipeg, and it's sold out. It's ready to rock. Half of TSN is already there, so we're flying in. It's going to be great. And we'll be there tomorrow. And I think we're going to have to get to the observations possibly tomorrow because Seth is coming on, right? We're going to jumble some stuff around, move some stuff around, but those are still going to be observations for tomorrow. Right, league-wide in the NHL. We're all
actually, I think it's great. But I felt like we got to 1 or 2 of mine already, so I might have to readjust. But
just keep them the same. If we talked about them, who cares?
Yeah, obviously we're going to talk about them again. But I think there's been some fascinating storylines to start the season, like good and bad. Like there's been obviously poor storylines in Toronto. It hasn't been great. Edmonton's been up and down. You guys had Big Strut on yesterday, so I wasn't sure how you went at him or not. But there's
I'll just tell you guys one thing. Well, I'll insider leak one of my observations from this year's 17 or 20 games in. I don't think Toronto and Edmonton are good teams. They could get better. They might have some bodies coming back. But as of right now, we're creeping up on Thanksgiving, and neither of them don't scare anybody. They're not good teams, and that's just one of my observations. And I would find it very difficult to argue against it. Goaltending issues for both.
No, they haven't played well.
No.
I mean, you can't argue against
it.
Teams have been a mess.
And you can apply some of my thoughts are applied within that formula. Put it that way. And Hayes just mentioned it. Goaltending is the league should be called goalie. You got goaltending, it masks a lot of issues. You don't have goaltending. What does Chris Knobloch say? Can't remember, but he had.
John Cooper always says, "Show me a good goalie, I'll show you a good coach."
I know.
Knobloch said, "I don't believe so."
What was his drop? I had 10 people reach out to me yesterday, dying about that drop. Even people in Edmonton. I think it got back to people within the organization.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so.
Don't believe.
Listen,
so.
it's tough, man. It's weird because like with the Leafs, everyone sees it differently. I'm seeing guys tweeting in being like, I can't listen when they're this bad. It's just depressing. Here's the problem the Leafs have that I think is different from the Oilers. For obvious reasons. The Oilers have been to 2 straight Cup finals. Is the Leafs they've used up all their goodwill. The worry is that Game 7 loss to Florida just crushed the organization. You got to hope that's not the case, but it had such a negative ripple effect on everything. And, the Marner story, let's face it, half the fan base loved Marner and wanted him to stay. So they're extra pissed. Because, if you were a big proponent of give him anything, keep him, love him, he's their best player, blah, 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 and they start like this, you're even more vindicated in that thought and even more disturbed by the way things are playing out.
And on top of it, it was just like, give me a positive start and I'll forget everything I thought.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
I
got to credit our boy Bolta brought this up earlier. With the Jays, they were a big distraction and a positive one, and the Leafs are being compared to them, but they lost in crushing fashion, which adds an element of bitterness to the city. Which the Leafs are paying for, which is kind of unfair to them. But it's like, man, I love those Jays, but God, I can't believe they lost. Oh, look at the Leafs. They suck. Like, it's just a constant, theme of just bitterness and jadedness and anger and disappointment.
But the Jays' whole approach is what I'm getting. Like, those Jays were so likable. They worked their ass off, and Charlie Hustle and Clement, and they cared, and they loved each other, and this and that. Like, I'm getting flooded with that.
Well, and with the Leafs, the Zadorov on Lawton, Zadorov on Matthews, how many times have we had this chat? Like, do they respond? Should they be fighting them? Should they go right at them? Did Domi do the right thing?
Domi's not the guy to do it.
No,
He's
exactly.
5 feet tall, and he goes after.
Why not Brandon Carlo? Like, you play one season with the guy?
Dakota Joshua. Like, they have some big bodies. Like, it just – listen, I thought it was weird that Domi went after him. And it was a dumb play, too, because Domi – he got the extra penalty.
He was the only one that got it. Yeah, he got the penalty.
And they scored on the power play.
Yes, Pasternak scored and the game's over.
Noodles, any other team, that would have happened 4 seconds afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, somebody would have said, you're not going on the ice, I am, because I'm going to take – like, I don't know. It just one of the best players in the league gets hit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, it's just you're untouchable, but in that fashion where he was almost like flexing, where it was like, I dummied Lawton the other day, and now I'm going to give it to your best player. And he basically was saying, and it was ultimately true, you don't have anybody to do squat about what I'm doing out here.
Well, he stepped up on Robertson earlier in the game, too.
Yeah.
And laid into him.
And I didn't mind his comments after. He's like, I'm going against top players. I'm going to play them hard. Like, Zadorov, like, I didn't – the initial hit, like, it wasn't an egregious cross-check from behind head first into the boards. The numbers were facing him, though. Like, he tried to take a piece of Austin, which is fair. You try to take a chunk of top players. But he even admitted it after. He's like, I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm trying to hit him. He's a top player, and I'm trying to lean on him. And Austin come back at him, good for him, but I'm worried that that's maybe where the injury
That's what
happened,
stings, is usually he's not a guy that reacts, and he actually did react, which I thought was a real positive. And my fear is now he won't react the next time. And maybe you don't want him to. That's always been a conversation. What do you want out of your best players? And, if you're not wired that way, then – you're not wired that way. And there's been other superstars in league history that are not asked to do anything, and they don't respond. They don't play physically, and that's fine. But, you would hope or expect someone to be able to do that. And I just don't see who that is. I mean, that's just not the way they are.
It was brought to my attention. People lean on Austin for not pushing back. John Tavares ever push back?
No. Willie doesn't. We've had these chats forever. They're all wired the same. Like, that's just not who they are.
Like it's not even a maybe. It's just a no. No.
Well, the other night I was watching, I think it was Edmonton-Columbus, and somebody hit, I think, Roslovic very hard, and Draisaitl went and grabbed the guy and had him in a headlock. Like, Draisaitl's not going to fight, but he's a big, strong guy, and he got right in there. Like, I think, you look at it, it's not about fighting, but it's about team toughness and having that wolf pack mentality. And I think that's why I kept coming back. The Leafs need a road trip. They need to get out and bond and kind of almost gel together. Like, Edmonton's going on a 7-gamer starting tonight. Like, that's like, they've had a really tough schedule, but it's a schedule that can maybe help them, get over the hump and turn a corner. The Leafs need that. They need something to galvanize the group. They haven't had anything to galvanize the group.
No, you're right. Yeah, they do. They need some feel like, unfortunately, maybe it should have been Tavares scoring 500, but they were getting pumped and they couldn't even celebrate. He just kind of skated to the bench, which is unfortunate. Again, before Johnny joins us, we should point out, Stephen Voigt, congratulations, Guardians manager, winning the Manager of the Year for the American League. But
I mean, great comeback with a 15-game deficit or whatever it was, but I think that I don't know. I thought John Schneider, it's not sour grapes. The guy deserved to win 100%, the AL, man. Yeah, 100%. It's just stupid.
Like, Votes won it back-to-back years. Great job. They have no payroll. They've dealt with adversity, injuries. It's because the Tigers choked. That's why. The Guardians didn't run off 20 wins in a row. The Tigers historically puked all over themselves.
Yeah, I think they got that one wrong.
Yes, exactly. And unfortunately, I think it was just going to be either A.J. Hinch or Vogt. Whoever won the Central was going to get it. And the Central was a breeze.
Right.
Like, the Jays were fighting. You talk about unexpected. Jays were the least expected team in the division to do what they did.
Yeah, 20-game difference.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That should have been Schneider, and he finished second, and still, I don't know. I felt for him last night because I would have been a cherry on top. Obviously, we know what happened in Game 7, but Schneider, I thought, did a great job. And not that Vogt didn't, not that the Guardians weren't a good story, but just one more dagger. Jays fans just getting it one more time. The Dodgers and the Guardians, both ends of the spectrum. All right, Seth Jarvis later in the hour. Here's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. What's happening, Johnny?
What's going on, boys? I wonder think about the NHL. The coach of the year is never the coach of the good team. It's always the coach of the plucky, overachieving team. And maybe that's what it's hard to say that about Cleveland because they won last year as well. Like the same guy won the manager of the year last year. So hard to say he overachieved. But I wonder where the payroll comes into that. He did more with less. Similar to what the coach of the year often gets. Like John Cooper never wins coach of the year, even though he reels off all those great runs. It's sort of like who can surprise you with a good year more than who does a good job.
Thinking right now, would Q get it in Anaheim? Who's your coach of the year right now, 17 games in?
Yeah, is it Q? Marty St. Louis would be up there perhaps. And Pitt, yeah, that's right. Dan Hughes. Dan Hughes. Dan Hughes. Yeah, those three guys. But yeah, Quenneville, what he's doing to our very point, none of us said Bednar. Colorado is rolling through the league right now. They are killing teams night after night after night, but none of us would think Bednar. We're like, who's got their team doing better than you thought? And it's probably Quenneville, really.
They just beat up on Anaheim last night.
Yeah.
They literally just beat
Nathan
them
McKinnon, though. He had 12 points in the last 3 games. 12 points in a weekend.
Crazy.
It's absurd what he's doing. And you don't always want to compare. He's, the best player in the NHL right now. And today, he's playing better than anybody else. And we always bring it back to Toronto and talk about Austin Matthews and what you're hoping for. And now he's a different kind of player than Nathan McKinnon. He may not ever produce quite like that, but you want to feel like that is possible. Occasionally, there's a game, there's the guy, and no one can stop him. McKinnon just ran off 3 in a row. 4 points, 5 points, 3 points. They won them all. They've only lost 1 game. And that's what it used to feel like with Matthews. And that's what, and I don't know if last night was a re-aggravation of something that was bugging him or something brand new when he was 100% healthy. Whatever it was, you haven't felt that very often for Austin Matthews of the Leafs this year.
No, I'm nervous about him. I got to be honest. I thought he would have a huge response this year for all the doubters, and he had a down season, the worst year of his career statistically, health-wise last year. Marner leaves. He's the captain. You have, the worst moment of your career, I'm sure, would have been Game 7 against Florida. I have to believe that. If you're Austin, in an honest moment, tell me the lowest point you felt. It had to be the last time we saw him play last year. And this year, I said earlier, he's been nowhere close to a top 10 player in the league. If we were doing a top 50 list based on the first 20% of the season, where is he? Is he in your top 50? I don't know if he's in the top 50.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know if he's been one of the 50 best players in the league.
If he's in it, he's at the bottom of it, right? He's just scraping in, exactly. So
he's 30 to 40 to 50 type of thing, yeah.
He was hurt last year. That's fair. He battled through some stuff last year that we probably don't even appreciate how significant it was. But if we take it at face value, and he's told us flat out, I'm healthy, I feel good. You wonder, Hayes, when we're talking about being worried, if he's being honest and he feels healthy, you wonder if this is just sort of his new reality. This is his version of healthy, where he's, 28-year-old guy. He's been in the league for 10 years. And his body's working the way it can, but it's still not working like it did when he was 22 or 23, which is not surprising, but you don't want to have that happen if you're Austin Matthews or if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, it's a big transition, man. That, and that happens. Again, I don't know if that's happening right now.
He's still going to be an excellent player. If we could all be sort of aging into 45 to 50 goals and 85 to 90 points. Absolutely. He's and two-way, he does all those things, but he's not the driving, inevitable force that doesn't matter who's on his line, doesn't matter who he's playing against or with or whatever home road matchup. that guy, he's got the puck. You can't get it back, and he's going to get scoring chances. And the way he shoots, it's going to go in the net. I looked at, we didn't get in a broadcast last night, but like the last 5 years in a row, and this may be a stick thing, his hardest shot has gone from 94 to 92 to 91 to 90 to this year's hardest shot is 86 miles an hour. Now, I know he doesn't take slappers and he does a different, but like the point is he didn't take slappers 5 years ago. And like the velocity on his hardest shot is down like 8 miles an hour. Noodles, you could tell me 8 miles an hour is a massive difference for a goaltender and how quickly they need to react. So that again just speaks to maybe just a bit of a wear and tear on the body that he's not quite as youthful as he was 5 years ago.
So, Johnny, getting into last night's game, what did you see? Like, what was your biggest takeaway from last night's game?
So, like,
I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I mean, there's a couple.
My takeaway,
he did the game. He saw it.
Yeah, I called the game. My takeaway is that their breakdowns are just enormous. It's just too easy for the other team to get good chances. That's it. That and their penalty kill at times has been really not very good. And I don't know if Stolarz was hurt, so maybe I'll temper my reaction. But during the game, I almost fell out of my chair when the third goal went in from Alex Steeves. Yeah. Like a wrister from 30 feet, no angle, no passing option, right through his legs. And maybe he was hurt by then. Maybe he couldn't move properly. But I keep thinking that the team, and in the team's defense, historically, when they get on the precipice, you're like, oh, God, they stink right now. They go and do good things. You know what I mean? Like, they don't sort of run off multiple bad moments. Like, they haven't done that for years. They lose a couple. They don't look good doing it. Remember that? What was it? We came home from Anaheim 3 years ago, and Mitch Marner was throwing stuff down the hallway, and the sky was falling. And then they went out and didn't lose a game in November. Every time they go to the brink poorly, they bring it back. And I thought last night, given what happened on the weekend, would be a perfect night to bring it back and play really well and show Stolarz, you had a couple days. Everyone's upset how Carolina went, how Boston went. And they didn't. Again, the shots were 9-2 to start the game. It was 2-0. They got a shorty, surprisingly. It was 3-1. Like, I will compliment. I guess they battled hard. They were physically engaged in the third period. We can debate whether Max Domi should or should not have done that. Damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, right? The team gets criticized for not reacting. He reacts and takes a penalty. Now he's dumb for doing that. Like, I'd rather have a guy go and get after it and say, hey, maybe be mindful of the score, but also just kill the penalty. Like, don't let them score and reward the guy for sticking in for your teammate and taking on a guy who's 10 inches and 70 pounds bigger than him. So there's a lot there, but it's just without the puck, it's too easy. It's too easy for the other team. That's my takeaway from last night, the same takeaway from the night before and the night before.
How much of that is on Berube?
I mean, I always drop most of it on the players, right? The players got to play. And defense is not that complicated. You can talk about system play, and I think there is something there to discuss about systems, about how they move the puck out of their own end. Because I think a lot of their problems start with their inability to move it, right? Like, they kind of get stuck around the boards and up the wall, and guys are stretched out, and there's a gap between the forwards and the defensemen, all stuff that doesn't lend itself to good defensive play. So I put most of it on the players, but yeah, I mean, I think some of it is that. And maybe Craig Berube wants to play a certain way. They thought they built a team that could build that. As I've said many times, dump and chase is good. You can dump it. You got to chase it. And to chase it, you got to be fast. That's why over the weekend, the most effective line was the one that had Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson. Why? Because they can skate. Because they at least get around the puck at the right time. The other guys, unfortunately, have been a little slow, and so the dump and chase stuff doesn't work very well for those guys because they can't stop the other team from getting out. So, you know, there's a lot of different stuff going on right now. But yes, I think the coaching staff has to be scouring their system play book, say, like, hey, what can we do differently here? Like, we need clearly to be better. We need, I think, to help our defense not only defend off the rush, but also break the puck out. How do we get them to do that better? Given the talent we have, yes, Tanev could come back. That will make things much better. But this is the group. Again, this is the group. Although I'm not advocating for anyone to miss time. And I thought Philippe Myers was a pretty effective replacement guy there, kind of, as a seventh guy last year. It's been real tough.
It's enough.
Real
you have
tough
to play someone else.
for him.
Well, let's not just throw him on an island, because Brandon Carlo, who's a veteran guy, real tough on him, and Jake McCabe as well.
Yeah.
Like
Benoit.
you put that 4-pack you just mentioned, they're all basically in there. It is tough sledding back.
Morgan Riley has been on the ice for more 5-on-5 goals than anyone in the league, but like 2 guys.
Yeah.
So like, it's tricky because the best players for Toronto are offensively minded players, and when you look at their numbers, like, what are you going to say? Do more Willie? Do more JT? Do more Matthew Nyes? Do more Morgan Riley? Not offensively. No, they can never do more than they're doing right now, but it's still not contributing to a winning, repeatable game. So whether that means they got to peel back those offensive numbers. But yeah, you're right. Brandon Carlo, he has beat the puck up a few times, unfortunately. Morgan Riley's had some tough reads. Jake McCabe, I think at this point, because he's so competitive, he's falling in the trap of trying to do too much, trying to make really tough passes, pop to the middle. We saw the Carolina goal where like everyone's like, that's not a good pass to make in that spot. But I think that's born out of him saying, we struggle. We got to get the puck on the forwards' tapes, and he's making bad decisions, trying to do too much, which again, with good intentions, with bad execution. Yeah, I think it's everyone, Hazy. I think it's the players. I think it's the coaches. I think it's the general manager. Like, this is the group. What are we looking like when we play well? We don't ever see it. Like, we see flashes of brilliance because their players are brilliant. Because William Nylander is incredible, and they're scoring a boatload of goals. But the system play is just, it's left wanting way too much.
Johnny, like in your time doing the games, have you ever seen so many odd man rushes and breakaways against? Like, it's crazy stuff. Like, that Hildeby back there, he must be like, what league is this?
Yeah.
It's like, is this an all-star game? What are we doing right now? Like, why are there so many breakaways? He steps in, and, I'm not, Noodles maybe won't like hearing this, but like, when the backup goes in or a guy gets pulled and you put in the guy cold, you hear a lot of like, you got to go protect the goalie. I never really worried about that. I'm like, hey, he's in the game, like, play the game like normally. But, he's also like, his first 2 shots were like a 2-on-1 shorthanded that he had to make a great sprawling save, and then like a Pasternak breakaway. And you're like, well, give him a fighting chance. This is the first minute of the second period. And that is,
Pasternak.
Johnny,
all I could have is flashbacks of the dump tip that he beat the Leafs on in the playoffs 2 years ago.
That's exactly right.
That's all I could
almost the
see.
Same corner. Wow.
The same corner how he picked up the pit. Same thing.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
He was pointing for it. He wanted it. He was pointing for it. And Johnny, the funny part about it is, I was watching the broadcast. You were talking about them giving up breakaways as they went in on a breakaway, flat out. You were like
insane.
It was like Ray talking about who was in net, Bernier, when he gave up that
Jonathan
crazy goal.
Bernier. That was
Bernier's
the Oliver
been phenomenal,
Larson.
and then Ekman Larson scores from the 5th row.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah, and I don't know, Noodles. Like, again, we don't know what's wrong with Stolarz. He clearly is struggling. He clearly is not feeling good about his game. If it was me, I've never been a backup goalie. If it was me and I just got pulled for the 2nd game in a row, like, even if I got to have like a stim machine under my jersey, I think I want to go sit on the bench, if only to show that I'm still here, guys. Like, I'm not bailing, and I'm not accusing him of doing that. I don't know what's going on with him, but like, give Hildeby some support. He's in his 9th game of his life. Dumped in the middle of a game again. So maybe he was getting treatment. But I just, a lot of stuff sort of swirling around right now for this team. And then they have LA tomorrow?
Yep.
LA's incredible on the road. They do not lose. They've lost like 1 game on the road so far this year. So it's not going to get any easier. And I thought, guys, during the game last night, you're listening along, and when now with Matthews hurt, if you're going to play Nyes, Tavares, and Nylander, that is all your eggs in one line. That's it. There is no 4th guy to balance out anybody else. You're not splitting them 2 and 2. They're all 3 and 1. I almost wonder if that somehow empowers the other guys to be like, we got to do something. We can't be non-factors in the games and wait for our star guys to do it, because we only have one line of star players now, with Matthews being out if he's not playing. And I wonder if that somehow forces them to feel like they take more ownership of what's happening, for better or for worse. Because I think right now, a lot of what's happening is the other guys are chopping up the minutes and hoping the big guys score. And I think that's not a way to survive. And their players are probably better than that. So I don't know what the line combos are. I don't know who's getting called up, who's coming in. But maybe if you're spinning it positively, can you take the challenge and be like, all right, we got to be better, because we can't let just the three guys on the one line try to do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. L.A. tomorrow. It'll be a fun one. We'll be in Winnipeg. We got to find that game somewhere in Winnipeg. That'll be. They'll
You
love
end
us
with
out
an
there.
oof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Little
Go walk
sports
right into
bar, right? Can
Earl's
you throw on the
and
Leafs
say,
game?
hey, get the Leaf game up, please. Yeah, they'll love that.
They cannot wait for us to roll through town with that request. We'll let you.
Is it
we'll let
cold
you know
there,
how it
boys?
goes.
Is
I
it
think it's
cold
actually
in
really
Winnipeg?
nice.
It's nice.
I-
No,
Okay,
it's
good.
decent. It's
Yeah, I
decent.
think
I
it's
saw
+2,
the,
+3, sunny,
yeah.
beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
perfect.
It's actually nicer. It's nicer than it is. You know,
In
Ottawa
Toronto
is
right now,
one.
it is.
Yeah, exactly. Toronto's 4 degrees. Winnipeg is 4 degrees. It looks like
Perfect.
it's going to be good.
I love it, man.
So-
Summer
Can't beat it.
weather.
Enjoy the
Friday it's
nap
supposed
on
to
the
be
plane.
12.
I will.
Nothing
Johnny.
better than a good sleep on a plane. If I'm not asleep before we take off, something bad's happened. That's
totally
how we
agree.
do it.
Wheels
It's the best.
up, and I'm out. Cannot wait. Full update tomorrow. Thanks, Johnny.
All right, boys. Have a good night. Safe
Mike
travels.
Johnson joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventures take you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com. Yeah, it brings up a great point about Stolarz at least symbolically getting back to the bench, but didn't happen last night. Demko out 2 to 3 weeks out in Vancouver. That's not good, man.
Hughes left the game but came back. There's some weird storylines
ugly.
going on throughout the league.
It's not good.
Those two guys are any kind of that's a mess. That turns into a mess quickly,
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Hughes and his post game, he looked so dejected. And
Yeah.
it's not good in Vancouver right now.
No.
All right, Seth Jarvis is great in Carolina. It always is.
Yeah.
Golf weather probably down there, right? Winning games, teeing it up, and you'd be playing in November down there, 100%. It's probably 20
All day.
degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll catch up with him. Set the scene for Winnipeg. Best bets coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live. Best bets later in the hour. We got our Thursday night pick tomorrow night, then the Grey Cup on the weekend. That's where Owen Wilson really finally steps up. That's your lane, right? Luke knows the CFL better than anybody. So he's ready to rock, and we'll see Luke out in Winnipeg tomorrow. And on Friday, I'm seeing the Nail Gun tweeting out that Mike O'Shea met with the Argos a couple of times this week. And
right.
Toronto might be trying to poach from Winnipeg. I'm sure our next guest won't love hearing that, right?
No.
I don't think anyone in Winnipeg ever
You know what
wants
that
to hear
means?
that.
He's the coach of the Argos. He's the next coach of the Argos.
More than likely the next coach of the Argos, because it's probably going to come down to money, and I'm sure they're going to pay him a lot. And he's a great coach. So there you go. But we're off to Winnipeg tomorrow, and we need someone to set the scene for us. What do we need to know about Winnipeg? And this is
Virtual tour guide.
Yeah, we need a tour guide, and we've gone right to the source. Here he is from Winnipeg, Carolina Hurricane, member of Canadian national team. Here's Seth Jarvis. What's happening, Seth?
Nothing. I don't appreciate you talking about losing my Blue Bomber coach like that, but excited to be here.
Yeah, that stings. And it's not a lock yet. It's not done yet. Man, he's been good. He's been good, and we'll maybe run into him over the next couple of days. We're on our way out to Polo Park, the Boston Pizza in Polo Park. What do we need to know about the Peg? Set the scene here for us.
I would avoid Polo Park a little bit, but I mean, you're going to one of the nicest cities in Canada has to offer.
All right.
All right, we got that going
Well,
for
we
us.
can't adjust on Polo Park.
Yeah.
We are going there, but
Yeah, it's an arranged thing. We have no choice.
all right.
So, Seth, tell us about your goon buddies. Did they drive down in the playoffs? Did I read that right? Did I see that on the Prime Special or whatever, that your buddies made it down to the games and drove down?
Yeah, they did. They made their way down to Raleigh. It was a nice surprise. I didn't really have much of an idea they were coming down, and they let me know a couple days before that they ended up in town and at an Airbnb.
Beauty. So how does that work, like in terms of ticket retrieval? Do they eventually let you know they're there because they need tickets, or did they find a way to get that done without you?
They got it done without me. I was just fully surprised that they actually decided to come down, and they took care of that stuff themselves.
I love it. Well, we've been talking about, obviously, you guys, you were in town on Sunday, and just how well your team plays consistently. In Toronto, we're talking about different things with the Leafs, and a couple of different Canadian teams up here we're talking about having some struggles. It doesn't seem like that applies to Carolina. You've been there for a while. Rod Brind'Amour has been your coach the whole time. Like, what is it about the culture down there that allows you guys to seemingly have good starts every year and, be in the hunt for the top spot in the division every season?
I think it starts with Roddy. I think he sets the tone pretty early in camp on what he expects from us and expects from our group. We've had a pretty similar group over the last few years, so the chemistry's there. The locker room's incredible, and the guys they do bring in have fit in seamlessly and been really big additions to our team this year.
So, what is you mentioned the culture runs through Rod. I know some guys who'd played there and previously, and this guy, is he in the gym every day and beat the guys into the gym and stay longer? Like, is it kind of awkward when you're trying to work out and the coach is in incredible shape as well?
It's a little intimidating sometimes, for sure. He varies the times when he comes in. I think sometimes he's in there pretty early, and then a lot of times he's in there after we're done practice. So you're kind of getting ready to leave, and you see him wearing his weight vest with his headphones in, sweating up a storm in there. But, that kind of sets the tone for our whole team. And when you have a coach that's willing to still put in the work like that, it's pretty easy to go out there and work hard for him and put in that extra effort.
Seth, as far as what Roddy preaches, we've been talking about the Leafs and them balancing on, trying to find some offense and not be, terrible defensively. How do you guys try to balance that? Is it just hard work where everybody's got a back check? I know you guys, I saw something on TV last year where it was like a race to who can get back first. How do you guys balance being a strong defensive team, but you still got to score goals and also being creative offensively?
Yeah, I think everything starts off with hard work, no matter if it's offense or defense, and then he really preaches we got to keep goals out of our net. I think he loves the 1-0 games, and if we can win like that, he's more than happy. But like you said, you have to score in this league, and he lets us be creative and lets us mess around a little bit offensively, which I really appreciate, and lets us create our own chances. But as long as he knows you have that commitment defensively and commitment to come back and protect the puck in your own zone, he lets you kind of freewheel a little bit offensively.
So how was it having the cameras around last year where, you did that face-off inside the NHL? I mean, they followed you everywhere. Your brother's your skills coach. I mean, did it take a little bit for you to get used to the cameras being everywhere you were?
I don't think you could ever really get used to that. It was definitely strange, but something I'm really happy I did, and I'm happy how it turned out. And it was an experience that I wasn't sure I didn't expect to ever get, and one that I didn't think I could pass up. Just with something that's new, something that lets fans and other people into a little bit more into how I was raised, my personality, and kind of everything that goes on behind the scenes.
With Seth Jarvis, and a large part of the ride last year would have been Four Nations, and you being announced on that team and you playing for that team, and now it rolls over in the Olympics, and it's getting pretty loud up here. I'm sure your family and friends are keeping you up to date on that. We talked to Connor Bedard about this earlier in the week, that up here it's like Olympic updates daily. Who's on, who's not, what's this guy doing, what's that guy doing? How do you handle that, knowing that you established yourself the way that you did last year, and here we go again? I'm sure this is another notch. As cool as Four Nations was, I can only imagine how much ambition and aspiration you have to play for the Olympic team.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy not to want to play for that team. It'd be a massive honor. It's an extremely tough team to make, and one that would be a really big privilege to be a part of, but it's not something that I'm solely focused on. I think I'm just kind of focused on every game, going out there, putting my best foot forward, doing the best I can to showcase myself and give myself the best opportunity to make the team. Whether or not that happens is out of my control, but knowing that I gave every game my best effort and went out there and really showed what I can do and try to influence them one way or another is all I'm looking to kind of do.
Beautiful. Well, we're staying downtown, I believe. I think we're on Portage, aren't we? I'm pretty sure we're on Portage.
We want to watch the Leaf game.
Yeah, where can we catch the Leaf game tomorrow in Winnipeg? How's that request going to go over?
Yeah, is that even possible? Is there like a secret Leaf crowd that hangs out in Winnipeg?
You're not finding a secret Leaf crowd anywhere in Winnipeg, but I'm sure the game will be on at Polo Park for you guys.
Yes, Polo Park will hook us up.
Maybe we just do that. Maybe we just hang at BP for the night.
The Jets are playing in Seattle, which is great because that's a late game for us.
Yeah.
So we're not competing with them. Okay, might be a Polo Park. We just stay in town.
Well,
that's maybe our plan tomorrow
and
night.
Seth, you being from Winnipeg, how difficult is it? I guarantee you that your buddies probably grew up Jets fans, but now they got to cheer for Carolina. How does that transaction go down?
Yeah, I don't know how much they cheer for Carolina sometimes, but it's fun. I think, yeah, like you said, they're all massive Jets fans. When they came down for the playoffs last year, obviously the Jets were in the playoffs, so they were tuning into those games pretty heavy. But they support me as much as their ego lets them, and I know they'll always be Jets fans at heart, but I'll take Carolina as a close second.
Yep.
Seth, I want to ask you, when I played in Carolina, like we first got there, and you would never get recognized and no one ever talked to you out in public, has that changed like drastically now?
Yeah, it's I think
really?
It's a lot different than when you were back here. It's a hockey town now. I think anywhere you kind of go, there'll be people out, whether it's kids, older fans. You'll run into somebody that's a big Canes fan, and I think that's the coolest part because you don't quite expect it down here, but there's a great following and everyone's super respectful about it. But there's definitely a lot of Caniacs looking to hang out.
Okay.
How much do you love just finishing practice and possibly teeing it up the odd day if you got a couple days off with nice weather and your buddies are back home freezing their ass off?
Exactly. It doesn't get much better than that. I like sending them a couple pictures of me on the golf course while they're, like you said, wearing toques and hoodies, freezing their ass off back home.
Yeah.
Where do you guys play these days?
Old Chatham.
Mm-hmm. Love it. That's a great
You're
course.
familiar with that place?
Yeah.
I am. That floater Justin Williams kind of started that kind of membership. You ever play with that guy?
I don't think I've played with Willie, but I've definitely watched him play at OC, and he's a sandbagger for sure.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, he loves his golf game. Just ask him.
Well, that's where you want everyone to know the Hurricanes when you need to call in a favor at a golf course. Like that's when you know you've made it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, we might drop your name tomorrow in Polo Park. We'll be cruising around saying, Seth
Tell your
Jarvis
buddies
sent
to
us.
come on out and see us, man. We want to see those guys.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Their creepy mustaches and the whole nine. Tell them to get out there.
Thanks for doing
far
this.
away from you guys.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Appreciate it, Seth, and we'll do it again down the road. Thanks for doing this.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
There's Seth Jarvis. Good Winnipeg boy. Winnipeg boy. That makes me want to go to Polo Park even more. When the locals are like, that's a gritty little spot, man. That means that's the action.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be.
He hasn't been back there in a long time. I guarantee you Polo Park is where it's at, and that's where we're heading.
100%. And
100.
We're going to be there tomorrow and on Friday. And, we'll see. I mean, we're going to be downtown, and I'm looking forward to kind of checking out the city.
Have you been to the Peg before, Brian?
I have not
ever?
been to Winnipeg.
You've never been to Winnipeg?
Voyage in the province.
Yeah,
I
and
have
we
not
might
been in
go
the
for a
province.
tour of the rink tomorrow because there's a concert in there Friday. So if you want to grab a coffee, kind of wheel around, go to the rink, check it out tomorrow, maybe we can do that.
I like that plan. And again, the Jets are in Seattle tomorrow, which is great.
Yeah,
right? Leafs right into the Jets game tomorrow night. We'll see what happens with this Mike O'Shea stuff. Yeah, the Nail Gun said they met on Monday and Tuesday in Toronto.
Yeah, that means he's the next coach.
Yeah, if he's flying into town.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're flying him in. Yeah, he's the next guy.
That
For sure.
seems to be moving in the direction that Mike O'Shea might be the next head coach of the Argos.
Yeah.
But the Argos aren't a part of this. You know, it's
and maybe Dinwiddie sniffed that out, where he was like, "They're going after O'Shea, so I'm out of here."
Yeah, it's possible. Like I think Dinwiddie, he appreciated in Ottawa, like he's the
Full
chef.
control.
He's buying the groceries and he's cooking everything, right?
Yeah, doing everything.
You get full autonomy in a spot, that's pretty enticing. And I credit Ottawa for doing it because they swooped in and said, we'll take you, we'll pay it, and we'll give you all the autonomy. And
My
was
buddy
a great
Sean
coach.
Burke is moving and shaking in Ottawa. He's a good man and a good football guy, and he's going to get things turned around.
There you go. There you go.
Love it.
Well, the Argos have got to figure it out. They had a disastrous season, and they if Mike O'Shea comes in, he's been arguably the best coach in the league the last handful of years. A lot of success in Winnipeg, but we'll see. We're going to see the nail gun at Polo Park in Winnipeg.
Oh yeah, love it.
Can't wait for that. Sarah's going to join us. Sarah Orlesky's coming in. I'll bet you she loves Polo Park.
Guaranteed.
Loves Polo
Everyone
Park.
She's going to be a
does.
great tour guide for us.
Yes.
Sarah knows that city.
Yes, Sarah
knows it.
is the
Yeah.
queen of Winnipeg, and we need as many details and as much help as we can get.
Yeah.
So we'll do that tomorrow. All right, Best Bets coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 streaming live on the TSN app. All right, thanks again to Seth Jarvis for hooking us up on what we can expect in Winnipeg. We're looking forward to it. We'll be there tomorrow. The Boston Pizza, Polo Park, can't wait. And Boston Pizza this weekend in general is going to be great. Great Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, can't wait for it. It's going to be amazing. Saskatchewan, Montreal. You got big hockey games, football games. The NBA's cooking. And tough to hear a guy talk about playing golf when the weather is what it is up here.
I know.
credit
Maybe
to him.
Owen Wilson can have a heart-to-heart, face-to-face, and get their act together too.
It's a great question, Noodles, because it is one of the more pathetic runs in sports history.
Yeah.
Was it at a dozen?
In
It's at
this
a
show's
dozen
history,
right now.
anyway. Like, there's been some tough runs. Like, what was your team called when you were with Luke? Did it even have a name? Was it?
I don't remember if we had a name.
I don't even know if me and Al's brother had a name. It was like Al Dog or something.
Al Dog.
It was stupid, but we never went on a run like this.
No, as bad as Al's brother used to be. Like, remember the Beansy picture that we always used to use?
That's
right, because he would pick losers all the time.
Yeah, he was called the ultimate cooler, and now he's not.
Now he's not. He's reverted into the ultimate heater.
Yeah.
Guy's a heating machine, man. Like, Al's brother is nailing winners. Nailing
he
them.
is. He's doing
and it's so funny that, like, Luke has won a Super Bowl, and he is getting lapped by Al's brother at a card depot.
Yeah, in a
calling
pony.
in picks. Hyundai pony. Like, it's just crazy.
It is. A guy that won a Super Bowl, almost won two, was a handoff away from 2 Super Bowls, is beating a guy that goes on 14 cruises a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting stuffed in a locker by a guy that goes to car depots every weekend.
Yes, and is well known amongst the cruise people.
Community.
Exactly.
The cruise
community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are his people.
Man,
anyway.
oh man, it's
anyway,
tough.
We'll
you guys
see,
got to
man.
get it together for sure.
I'm worried about these guys, Noodles. Like, I have way more faith in the Leafs getting it together and going on a run. Way more faith.
You have more
Owen
faith in the
Wilson?
Leafs than Owen Wilson?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%. 100%.
That is tough to listen to. I'm not going to lie.
The way the
that
Leafs
is
are
tough.
playing, as bad as the Leafs have been playing, at least they can tune into this show Monday, Thursday, Friday and say, all right, well, it could be worse. We could be Owen Wilson, right?
Man,
could be Owen
that's
Wilson.
tough.
It's
It
ugly.
is.
It's
That's
ugly.
a slap in the face.
It is. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. You mentioned the Oilers on the road in Philly. I'm taking the over tonight. Like, I just don't – I don't trust defending. You know, like, how could you? The total's 5.5. You got to pay juice on that. But I just see a 6-4 game.
Oilers, Philly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? Until these teams – I said the same thing last night about the Leafs. Until they actually start defending, why would you bet the under on these teams?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'll believe it when I see it. So the number's low. I'm going to take the over in that game. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available for every NHL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 18 plus, physically located in Ontario. So yeah, the Oilers. You know, they listen. The other night, that was McDavid put on a show. Man, he put on a show. They got a lucky bounce. But it happens. You're allowed to get those sometimes, and they win in overtime, and now they're hoping that they can catapult that into something great. Winnipeg's been very good. They won last night.
Yeah.
You know,
How
Ottawa,
far
they
away
had
is
that
that?
game and got away from them. I guess Dallas is really good.
Yeah,
but
Dallas is
LA
a good
pumped
team.
Montreal last night. Pumped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, some concern in Montreal that they're really skilled, really fast, but sometimes they play kind of a meaner, heavier team, and just like Washington was, it's like they don't do that well.
Mm-hmm.
Just an observation from last night.
Yeah.
I saw it from people in Montreal.
Reasonable. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's LA. That's what the Leafs are supposed to be. Again,
Yeah.
it's not always about the Leafs. I get it, but it's supposed to be a veteran team with size that makes it uncomfortable for other teams.
Yeah,
I know, they're just not getting anywhere to make anything uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's
but
true.
LA's doing it on the road, and Philly's been a good story this year, man. Like
they have.
To their credit, they've played well. They've played well. They've won games. Rick Tocchet getting things done. So we'll see. All right, we're off to the Peg. We're off to Winnipeg, live from Boston Pizza tomorrow and Friday. Cannot wait for it. Bright and early at Pearson. I'll be seeing you. And Noodles will catch you in Winnipeg. Doogie's on his way out there. It's going to be a beautiful thing. We're out of here. All right, thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out, everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, up on YouTube Live. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
See you in the Peg, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.